Welcome back to the Heads Up Show, and I'm here today with Joey Richie.
Hello.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
Thanks, Steve. I've been looking forward to this for a while.
We're doing a helmet build. We're going to go through some of the helmets that you have in your collection, and you are blind.
That's correct.
First off, thanks for coming, because I know you did not come from next door. Tell me about your drive.
I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, and originally born and raised in a little town, a little southeast of there called Childersburg. That's where I played high school ball.
I'm not shy about admitting the fact I'm super curious about how you got into helmets. How were you able to play football with either no or limited vision? I mean, let's talk, man. Let's just talk. Okay, let's start off. When did you play football, and what was your sight like?
Well, I grew up a football fan. My dad was a big Alabama Crimson Tide fan, and I'm sitting here wearing my Auburn gear, but he's probably rolling over in his grave. But I grew up a football fan and always wanted to play, and was a pretty decent athlete. And at about the age of 12, my parents noticed that I was like sitting close to the television. So they took me to see not just a optometrist, but an ophthalmologist, a doctor. Yes. And they diagnosed me with a condition called retinitis pigmentosa, which is a retinal degenerative disease. And they told me at that point in time that one day you will be blind, you'll lose all your vision. Wow. So I was almost like, you hear about these different stages of loss. And for me, it was denial. It's like, no, that's not going to, like you said, that's not going to slow me down. I'm going to keep doing everything I've always done, and that's what I did. And my parents never told me, you can't do that. I played all through my high school years. I played defense, and when I got to be about my junior year, I'd already gotten to the point where they were considering me legally blind. So if someone has a normal 180 degrees of vision, I had like 20 degrees or less than 20 degrees. So already considered legally blind. So they moved me to offensive guard and played a little center, and all I had to do was block the man in front of me. I didn't have to worry about chasing the ball around to tackle somebody. So like I said, I played for my entire high school, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, and those last two were as a blind person.
What did you do with night games?
Well, again, if I'm playing on the line and I'm a guard, really, it's right in front of you, and if I'm not hitting them, they're hitting me, so it was pretty close contact, and for that 20 degrees of vision, that worked.
That's fascinating.
Now, I did do some, pulling guard from time to time, and so that was a little tricky sometimes, but my mom says that she remembers watching me play games and like at halftime or after the game was over, she said she'd actually would cry because she would see me coming off the field and I'd be dragging my feet.
You're making me feel lazy, and I'm a pretty motivated guy. And, for our audience out there who probably 90% of them do or did play, don't be lazy. Right? And don't let somebody tell you that a disability means that you are disabled.
Correct. Because
that's BS. Right? So let's move on now. You're no longer in high school.
Yes.
And you either all of a sudden or you've had the helmet bug.
Well, yeah, I kind of always had that helmet bug. So even as a little kid, I would draw football players, draw uniforms, design uniforms.
So did I, by the way.
Yeah, draw a helmet, make it the crazy face mask, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was always, something I liked. And I always, even when I was playing, I was always like, oh my gosh, I hope I get to pick my helmet this year. I hope I don't just get handed one. I'm a senior, let me get a good helmet, So I was always kind of into that helmet thing.
Okay.
So just in the last year, this October, past October, I did a little thing. I remembered that my mom was a single mom and raised us, and it was not easy. And it was always hard when we had to get shoes or cleats for playing. And so I kind of thought about, I wanted to do something for our team, the high school team that I played with. So I got on Facebook, and I talked to all my old player friends and other classmates, and I said, hey, would y'all like to get together and try to buy shoes, cleats for all the team? And everybody was excited about it, and we bought shoes for the entire football team.
Wow.
And that was so. And the coach gave me a helmet, as a thank you.
I see where this is going. Yes.
And so I got that helmet, and I was like, oh, I need to fix it up. So I was like, oh, I can do this, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I caught the bug. And then I started doing research. And then I found you guys, and I found a hobby group. And it just, and now I'm obsessed. I mean, truly obsessed.
I need you to tell me about this Stars and Stripe helmet that you're doing, and how did you get it painted and all that good stuff?
Yes. Well, I get most of my helmets through going to coaches, high school coaches, and asking if they have any rejected, retired helmets. And I just happened to get a Speedflex shell, completely stripped. There was not a thing on it.
Yep.
It was completely stripped down. And I had never had a Speedflex before. It always been some of the older helmets. So when I got this Speedflex, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do something special.
Sure.
And the holidays coming up for 4th of July, I'm going to go ahead and like fix it up more red. I'm going to do red, white, and blue. And I want to get a nice face mask. And I sort of dreamed, you know, have that wish list of one day getting a Zuti face mask.
How did you get the paint the way that you, I mean, did you paint this thing?
Well, I get help from friends, and my wife has been very helpful, and we're going to do some, this is a little bit more work on the paint job. It's not perfect, and it's clear coat, but it's in process.
So, I mean, you had every excuse in the world and every right to just be like, hey, I'm just going to paint this thing and slap a decal down the center, but you had to make it so difficult on yourself as somebody, you know, who's not sighted. That just speaks to your tenacity, but also it speaks to the patience of your wife.
Well, I don't think people understand that, again, and this is to somebody that may have any kind of setback, any kind of struggle that they have. We all need to ask for help sometimes. Mm-hmm. And that's part of, like, you know, when you have anything going on, don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, we all have to ask for help sometime.
I mean, well said, man. You know, and this is an unusual YouTube experience, so we're going into unusual topics. But for me, this is the stuff I love. You know, man, I find it incredible. Hopefully, we can get some shots of your little companion over there. But I'm looking at the cutest dog maybe ever. I gotta ask. What's the story with the fluffy thing on my studio floor?
Okay, so my best friend is my dog, and I call him RJ. I used to have a German Shepherd. I think you have a German Shepherd.
I do, yep.
And
good memory.
So when she passed away, I wanted to get another dog, and my wife says we don't need another dog. So I actually cheated on her, and I snuck around on the internet, and I found a breeder, and I put down a deposit, and we got a puppy. And I took my wife to a steak dinner, and I had pictures, and I said, guess what?
A public place, I like it.
We're getting a puppy. And she's like, okay. She's like, he's cute. And I said, you can name him. She named him Rammer Jammer, which is the Alabama Crimson Tide fight cheer.
So RJ's Rammer Jammer,
Rammer
sure.
Jammer.
And, you know, I'm looking offset at your lovely wife. So how did Jennifer take this photo? I mean, apparently she named it, and she didn't name it, you know, mistake.
No,
Okay.
It worked out well. And he is awesome. He is a Belgian Tervuren.
Yeah.
And if you're familiar with the Belgian Malinois, he's really a long-haired Malinois. And he kind of looks like a German Shepherd and a Collie got tangled up.
That's right. It's kind of like a cute, fluffy police dog.
Yeah.
You could totally sit on your butt and collect disability. You chose not to. What did you do at Auburn? What schools have you gone to, and what do you do now?
Well, I mentioned earlier that I'd always been a football fan, and after playing, I wanted to coach.
Yeah.
And I was planning to go to school and go into physical education and pursue that career. So after high school, I went to Auburn long enough to ruin my GPA. I was there for a semester, and never been away from home. So it was a big experience, change. So after UAB, I went to work. I was still working all along. I was helping pay my way through school and getting some help from state government for people with disabilities. They were helping me go to school, and that's Department of Vocational Rehabilitation. So that's what I do now. So I went back to school. I went to Auburn, and I got a master's degree in vocational rehabilitation counseling.
Okay.
And I work with other blind people anywhere from age 14, as long as they want to work, up to 70 something years old.
Wow.
I've helped people. And help them go to school, help them get the equipment they need, help them learn to use their cane, help them learn Braille. I am not the teacher. I am the person that coordinates all that stuff.
You really are almost like you're their trainer, you're their guidance to help as a liaison between the teaching and the application, and also probably just motivation, right?
Again, and I always wanted to be a coach, and I think the role that I'm in now, I'm the closest to being a coach that I've ever been. And I want to talk to kids and to parents about the game of football and how many life lessons are learned in that game, and how many parodies you can put to the game of life. That individual struggle, man on man, and then the team struggle, one team against another, and trying to get from point A to point B, first down, 10 yards at a time, working your way down the field, and then scoring that touchdown.
This might be a silly question, but do they know that you also aren't sighted? Or do they think that you're just there as a nice guy?
It is funny. I have met many, many people, and if I have my glasses off, my eyes, I'll take them off. My eyes are perfectly clear. They don't look cloudy or anything.
You have nice eyes, actually.
They track to points that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that I meet, if I'm not wearing my glasses, they'll say, "Well, you don't look blind."
Right.
Like, what does blind look like? So, but I have people that talk to me about, I can't do this job. I can't do that job. I can't go back to school. I don't know, and I'm like, dude, I do it. I mean, I do all my housework. I mean, I'm do laundry. I cook. I used to take care of my yard. The only reason I don't take care of my yard anymore is because I can afford to pay somebody to do it.
Let's get into why we're really here today and what helmet.
I came here today to go backtrack all the way to high school. So I have, in that helmet that I wanted to pick out when I was a senior, we're doing it today.
Okay.
This is my dream helmet from high school.
What we have is a New York Giants authentic helmet that we've stripped the decals on the sides of them off because you stated it's an almost exact match to what your helmet looked like, right? That blue, so that's cool. We kept the red center stripe. We're gonna do some other things. You brought decals. My plan is to help you build this thing, but I am not going to stand and build this whole thing and feel sorry for you. I am going to have you build this thing with me because I believe you can, and B, you need to show people what you can do, right? The world needs to see it. Guys, that if you've watched this interview portion, thank you so much because it's a really important message. And now we're gonna transform this desk. We're gonna bring all of the hardware in and we're gonna get to building this thing. So stick around. All right. We've transformed the desk. We have everything we need to build. There's a lot going on to this, and you, my friend, are going to help me with every step. So this started out as a New York Giants Speed Authentic helmet. I'm going to cut this warning label off because it's yours now. Let's start off with, in my opinion, the most difficult part. You want this to look like your high school helmet, correct?
Correct.
All right. Your high school helmet had 3 stripes.
Yes.
But they didn't touch, so you wanted me to leave a gap between the red and the white. So what I'm doing is laying this down right now, and I'm going to take my time with it because when you run your fingers over this, I want you to feel how perfect these stripes are, okay? So I appreciate the fact that you couldn't just have me put 3 stripes down. You needed a specific gap between them. So thanks, pal. Yeah.
I knew this would be a little tricky, but I like that kind of that border, that red, blue, white.
I'm already in love with this, and I think the next helmet I build for my collection, I might draw some inspiration from this because I have seen this look before, but I've never actually done it myself because I was being lazy. Okay, so one stripe is done, and I want you to just feel this and give it the nod of approval. Feel that stripe. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is NASA spec leveled. It's about
I'm pretty good with these fingers, man. I can tell lines.
It's about an eighth.
Good.
Yeah, it's about an eighth of an inch gap between the two, and it's looking great. So this second one I'm gonna get done. Stripes are done, and I tell you what, that looks great. Okay. Now, I want you to put the, are you able to put the face mask hardware on the face mask?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Maybe later lining it up just right might be a little tricky, but I can do the hardware.
No problem at all. So if you just put your hand, yep, you have the face mask right here and the white speed face mask hardware. Why don't you do that while
nice face mask.
Yes, that is a definite running back / linebacker style, which is what you liked. That's what you asked for, correct? Okay. Tell me about these side decals.
Well, I will be honest, this is again Dream helmet, and it's not exactly like my high school helmet. We had a very normal kind of C, almost like a Chicago Bear, or even maybe like Georgia G.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, but I thought that was kind of boring. So I have always liked the Auburn Tiger Eye logo.
Yep.
So I was inspired to do it in red, white, and blue, and take out the Auburn part, and it still represents tigers, and I thought that was kind of cool looking.
I agree. It's a tricky decal because it's thin, but thankfully it's pliable enough to where I'm able to work this on without having bubbles or creases, but I'm concerned a little bit that this may not lay down perfect, but I'm trying my best. And if I screw this up, are there extras?
Yes.
Okay. Good
I
to
always
know.
try to do extras. Now, do I remember this goes on the bottom?
That's correct. That's correct. Yes.
And does it go in or out? Does it go this way?
It goes that
or
way.
That way.
Nope, the first way.
That's
you
what
had
I thought.
It. Yep.
I'm so used to the older helmets. I've only done a couple of speed.
Wow. While you guys were watching Joey do a great job of putting the face mask hardware on, I am unable to put these side decals on. So, change of plans. We're going to do this decal on the back because it's not so bulbous on the back. And then we're going to go with those C's on the side, okay? Now this will look very good. I can already tell that this is going to look really cool back here. We just need to take it nice and slow again and see if I can get this to follow what we need it to do. I feel better about it going on the back. Okay, we figured it out. All right.
Hey, got a plan.
I like this. This is great. Now, sides. We're going to go with the C's.
So that's going to be kind of the Georgia look, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, that sounds good.
What I did was I had to actually cut a slit here. Give me your finger real quick.
I'll
You got
follow you.
Yep. So I overlapped that.
Yeah.
The rest is perfect.
You can't tell that.
And you can tell. While we're on the back, I have the American flag, the Alabama flag, and the warning label. What I would normally do is stack the American flag on top of the Alabama on the left side and the warning on the right. Is that something you're okay with me doing, or are there other suggestions?
That's what I was used
what
to
you-
having. Again, if you're flying the flag, you're going to fly it above the state flag.
That's right. Okay, so then I am going to just roll with that. This will be the easiest part of the build so far. The paw award decals, we have space to put them, because what I like to do is, can I have your hand for a second?
Yes.
So here's the stripes.
Yeah.
I like to put them here and go in this area.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with that. Do you have any desire to put these on, or is okay? No. I'm pushing it. All right. I tried.
This is too much of an investment, and I want it to be perfect.
All right, fair enough. No pressure. So I'm going to do. Let me ask you with the paws. Right now, the way that I have them, the top little toe beans are facing like 10 o'clock.
What I remember is very similar to that Clemson tilt.
1 o'clock. So Clemson is 1 o'clock. So what I'm going to do is individually lay them down then, because they're not that way on the sheet. But then, oh my goodness, these look great. This looks cool.
I'm very happy.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I can only imagine.
So
it's coming out just like I wanted it.
Well, that's great, man. I'm pumped. So do you want to give this a feel by any chance?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So all right here.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yep. So there's 4 coming up here. 1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, and then 3. But then this way, it's all a big cluster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like it very much.
Cool. Okay. I would love for you to do these. The buckles. Fair warning. These are SportStar buckles. They are really hard to get on, but that's by design, because you don't want them coming off easy, right? So I find if you press from the inside and from the outside, that they kind of go on, and so
did them last night.
Here is the upper buckle, and it's going on this snap post.
Oh, we're snapping them. I thought you meant putting them onto the
right up here.
Strap.
There you go. Oh, no. I did that. While you're doing that, I'm going to adjust this visor. Good.
I had a chin strap last night, and the top part right over here, when it comes out, folded back over and went into like a belt buckle kind of thing. Now, do you want me to go ahead and put the bottom on, or leave it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I am doing your visor install, and I have that in place right now. Looks really good. I used Oakley white unbranded clips to go with your white face mask and your white face mask hardware. Dude, let me check this out. Okay, I'm gonna tuck this stuff in here. Excellent. Great work. Okay, so I have this visor in place with the face mask hardware that you put on, which you did perfectly. And what I'm going to do is put this face mask where it needs to go. And then I am going to just barely start these screws, and then you should do it.
Do you have a tip for lining up? Like, should you start on the top? Should you start on the bottom when you start putting the screws in?
So
how do you keep it straight?
Centered.
Because it seems like to me, I'm always getting mine cattywampus.
So here you go. Here's the screwdriver, and so screws are. Yep, you go ahead and feel so up on top. So I always, on the speed with a visor on the mask, I always start on the top.
Okay.
And the reason is because you can tuck the visor in and then tilt the face mask down to do the lowers. If there was no visor on there, it really doesn't matter. You can do it either way.
Okay. And let me explain to the audience that I'm using a manual screwdriver because, again, not seeing, I'm feeling my way. And
you don't need to be feeling your way with a power tool.
I don't want a power tool.
Right.
That's right.
That makes perfect sense. The truth is, we all should be using the little finesse tools anyway. But for the sake of time, I'm spoiled and I use a DeWalt. Yeah. Okay, so that's great. So now
I did not tighten those tight. I thought we might need to make a little wiggle room.
Correct. Good call. So now we are centered. We're nicely we're seated well. So now the bottom face mask hardware. I'm just putting the screw in, but it is not even started.
Yeah.
So I have it kind of held up on the side.
Side.
Yep, and I'm gonna hold the helmet. And now these screws, down.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. Now they are not even started.
Yeah.
So
I got it.
okay, let me know if you don't feel the resistance.
Okay.
All right, good job. And then this one, I'm doing the same thing. Let me just get it remotely lined up. Okay, so now here you are. Face mask hardware is right there.
Thank you.
Boom. Yep, no problem.
You should see me at home and me dropping screws. I'm going, Jennifer, I dropped a screw. And I was going to get a magnetic screwdriver so that when I did drop them, they would maybe stick, but it didn't work very well.
No. And then you hear a bunch of clacking when you vacuum. There's the screw. I knew it was somewhere. And
I'm still missing one of the pins that.
Oh, the quick release tool.
Quick release thing. One of those got loose. I hadn't found it yet.
Yeah, the quick release pin rather.
Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job. There we go.
Yep. Excellent, dude. Good work. Now let me just think about what we got to do here. On the front bumper, you have this CHS as a transfer decal again. What is CHS?
That is Childersburg High School.
Okay. All right. So I'm just.
Now, back in the day, we just had good old Riddell on them.
Isn't that funny? I know. Lots changed, right? So
we were just, everybody, that was when bike was just starting, and everybody wanted a bike helmet.
I dare say we have a 100% complete helmet. Why don't you give this a feel, check it out, and I don't know, I got to tell you, it is loud and proud.
That's exactly what I want. That's my personality, loud and proud.
Well, the decals are all over this thing. My favorite part, those 3 center stripes. Fantastic idea, my friend. The red buckles on the bottom, the white on the top. We swapped it because we initially were going to do red on the top, but then with this C logo being all white, it would have looked weird.
Gotcha.
So this way it's clean.
Okay.
And then the bottom has the red. And my friend, you
did a
great job. It's time. You know what to do.
I know what to do.
Okay. I hope so. Yeah.
Now, do we need to unbuckle these, or will it slide?
We go to the same barber. You okay with glasses on doing that? Yeah, there's something.
It just depends. So.
Try it with the chin strap, and then if not,
that's going to work. Sweet.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, the chin straps are long.
We'll get that fixed later.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh, I'm ready to play.
That's right. Let's see. Move your head from the sides. Let's see the side. Yeah, let's see. Turn around. Let's get the whole full look, man.
Get the back.
You do the
back.
back.
It's a sweet back.
You did a great job, dude. Well, I mean, this was a doozy. I appreciate you, man.
I'm going to wear it all the way home.
We're going to sign off on this portion, and then we're going to get into showing you some of Joey's other collectibles that he's working on. And then I have 2 things that I have to give you as a gift, okay?
Oh, sweet.
So we're going to sign off on this part, and we'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, so you just saw us put together this incredible high school helmet. But Joey, there are 2 other helmets on here. We need to hear about them. This is an Air XP.
Yes. And I decided when I did my collection that what I would do is start with the schools that I have degrees from. I have a lot of ideas, but I wanted to start with those. So after high school, I went to the University of Birmingham in Alabama in Birmingham. And this is the UAB Blazer helmet. Their mascot is a dragon. And their traditional look is a gold helmet with some green, like green face mask, maybe green decals. They've had like the word Blazer on their helmet before. But these are actual official decals from the school. They were nice enough to give me what they use, which I was really happy about that. Yep. So after UAB, I went to Auburn to get my master's degree in vocational rehabilitation counseling. And this helmet is inspired by the Cincinnati Bengal look. And it's a white helmet with blue tiger stripes. I like a white face mask. I went with a white face mask. One of your employees, Moses, helped me pick out some of the things to add to it, such as the buckles and the visor. Those are based on my school, and I have my high school helmet now. And I do have one more school that I have attended and have a graduate certificate from, and that is a Maryland helmet, and that is my next build.
So I'm going to move them aside because I have a couple of things that I need to give you. Okay. So first off, why don't you put your paws out there? Yeah.
My taco paws.
So there you go. So that is a Green Gridiron original logo T-shirt in a really like a nice peach salmon.
Like it.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. This one is totally different. So here you go. This,
that?
on behalf of Zuti, is...
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
That is a Zuti brick house for that red, white, and blue stars and stripes.
Oh my
helmet.
gosh.
That just screams America. You know, it's big, it's bad, it's bold.
Oh,
so
I love it.
The folks at Zuti and I have been in touch, and they said, can you please make this happen? So we dipped that 3 hours ago in white, and man, I
can't wait to finish it and show it off to you guys.
Yep. And now there's more. So let's put this aside. So here you go. You need yourself a nice soft workstation.
Oh.
Okay. No more scratching helmets and dropping screws on the floor. Set
Sweet.
yourself up with a table. Stop relying on your poor wife to vacuum up your screws.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So there's that. And then a couple more things. So we have a Green Gridiron helmet bag, and then inside.
Oh, I need that.
Yes, you do. So inside, this is a etched Green Gridiron pint glass.
Oh, nice.
Yes, for your favorite beverage. Whatever that might be. And you can feel right here is the logo, and that's engraved on the glass.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So we wanted you to have that. And then a couple of other goodies, things out here on, here, put your hand out real quick. So these are in bags, but these are a variety of colors of Green Gridiron patches. I want to shake your hand.
And where's that hug again?
There you go.
Man.
Dude, you did a great job.
This is awesome.
Well, it was really a pleasure having you, and I'm looking to the audience right now saying, guys, share this inspirational story, please, with your friends and family. If you made it to the end of this video, you're the best. Thanks for sticking around, and if you want to be on this show, go to the link in the description and you can book yours. And that's all we have for you. So until next time, cheers.